We thought I'd do something a little bit different today. So I've got somebody here with me. Well, not here now. He's going to join me in just a second to talk about the game, to talk about the 1-0 loss to Sevilla. You will recognise him. He's been on the channel before. He is a man that's so old that when 10 years ago I told him that West Ham were about to move stadium, he said, "Oh no, not again." There you go. I'll bring him in now. It's Gonzo Senior. Well, this is old times for you. You must remember when we were Thames Ironworks playing in European competition.
Nearly. But it's old time being back in Europe. I certainly remember being back in the Cup Winners' Cups. Particularly fond memories of '76 and again in '81.
So how was that for you then? Bearing in mind it's such a long time since '81 to then have a knockout game. Obviously, back then there was no league stage, was it? It was all knockout. So this was I feel this is when the competition actually starts really, and against a good team. How was that? How did you feel we did?
I thought we did really well. I thought we were very professional. We pressurised them quite well. We created the best chances. Unfortunately, we didn't convert any of them, and we got suckered. Um, they made some good opportunities, but they would have needed to be incredibly skillful to execute um, the opportunities they made, and they made an opportunity from a corner, which we were much taller than them, so we should have been able to counter anything at a corner, but we just left a man completely unmarked, and he finished it well. Um, Rice clearly wasn't his normal self, but he still made lots of blocks, and I think he played within himself a little bit. Probably didn't quite have the normal energy levels, but I thought we acquitted ourselves very well. I'm really looking forward to next Thursday. It's going to be it's going to be, I think, possibly one of the most special nights we've had at the London Stadium.
I think so. I think it has the capacity to be the potential. Just use the word capacity when talking about stadium, really. I think it has the potential to be the best game yet at the Olympic Stadium. To in terms of atmosphere, certainly, because I think we always used to think that maybe it was just Upton Park under the lights, but the more I look at actually other games and other teams, when I watch other teams on the telly, they seem to have their best atmospheres at night. So I don't know. I don't think it's just particularly Upton Park. So I think this may well trump any sort of daytime games. But did you see anything to be fearful about? We're still in it, massively in it, right?
Well, I think they're quite tricky, but the incident at the end where Rice went and picked up the guy who was feigning injury, um, I think their most effective player on the night managed to get himself booked, and I believe he now misses the next leg. Martial came on; he did nothing when he
No.
came on. They've got lots of very good technical players, so we've got to respect them, but. I think we've got a really good chance. The one thing that does worry me slightly is we'll have a very competitive game against Villa on Sunday. I'm glad they're playing now and they're playing against Leeds, who will hopefully run some of the legs off them. But I don't know who Sevilla are playing this week. But last week they had a free run at us, didn't they? Because they actually played last Friday and they played the team who was second bottom in the Liga, I think. Anyway, it was somebody right down the bottom. So
Okay. They play. I'll tell you now. They play Real Vallecano, as I
well,
understand it.
I don't know where they are in La
Well,
Liga, but
I'll tell you that as well because I got the magic of
it's nowhere
internet.
near the top, that's for sure.
No, they're 13th with 30. With to be fair, they're 13th with 31 points from 26 games. That being said, they've lost their last 5 games. But anyway, without getting without getting too much into that, would suggest they probably were a good team at the start of the season, a bit of bad run of form. What about in terms of players for us? Who impressed you?
Johnson. I I thought Johnson was terrific tonight. His judgment of when to tackle, when to go. I thought he was excellent. I thought Zuma had a fairly quiet game, um, and I thought Antonio was somewhere near back his to his best as well. I mean, the layoff he did for Soucek's snapshot was excellent, and I think he pointed towards what could happen next week. I think he really worries their centre halves. They couldn't cope with him. Um, I was surprised at the referee actually, based on what Gio was saying in the at the start about how the number of bookings he gave and sendings off and all that. And I actually thought the referee in general refereed the game quite well.
He let a lot go, didn't he? I think
Yeah,
he let it become a contact sport. He didn't suffer falls. It wasn't really up for any diving. The only thing I think he let go was the time wasting at the end. I don't know how that was allowed after we'd had the
no,
attack. I think it was Lanzini's shot. How he was allowed to blow up for that and stop the game. It clearly wasn't a head injury at all. We were on the attack. But that's just a wily
I think
European
that's
thing.
European
Yeah.
referees for you. I mean, you see it all the time in the Champions League. So you know that wasn't the reason. That wasn't the reason we lost.
No, but we
We
didn't.
lost.
I didn't feel that we looked naive. By the way, we didn't look like a naive
No, we
team.
didn't
I
look
thought
naive. We got caught in the sucker punch, and you've got to give Moyes and his team a lot of credit that we seem to research things quite well all the way through the European campaign. I think we've done really well.
so. You're what about any? So obviously you thought Johnson played well. Any changes that you think he will make aside from Bowen for the next one? Who I take it? Who would you swap? So I don't feel that Fornals or Vlasic played well. I thought Fornals had a terrible spell in the second half. A terrible spell.
Um, I, I think four nows was typically four nows. He did lots of chasing. It's unfortunate that all of Vlasic seemed to get all of our best chances, and he didn't convert them. So I think it will be Vlasic that basically goes off. Ben Rama came on. He did well when he came on, but it's the sort of game that would suit Ben Rama. Um, I don't think Moyes will play Ben Rama, and to be honest, I don't blame him. I think we've really got to go for it and try and press and get lots of corners and free kicks and pepper the box. They're not a tall side, and I think we've really got to use that advantage.
Well, I
I
mentioned
think,
in the review that I felt that with the advertising hoarders, they'd really pinched off the area for a run up for the corners. I mean, there was two strides in there at best. Um, so I felt that we weren't able to do. Obviously, there's going to be as was acres of of real estate around the corner flags at the London Stadium. That's for sure. So I certainly think we'd have to do that. Did you? I wasn't. I thought they had some good players and they had some neat players, but I didn't look at Sevilla having seen that. I think they're a frightening team. And I mean, we heard that I thought Liverpool were quite good against us. I just thought we played really, really well. But I still felt, even though we were defending, I felt there was wave after wave after wave when we played Liverpool, that they were sort of coming out. It just seemed every time we'd surrender the ball, Diaz would have it. And I felt we had to be much more switched on all game against Liverpool, whereas they certainly didn't seem to be as good a team as that, for instance, or Man City. They certainly weren't at a level. And I think it goes to show how what a fast level and what a technical level the Premier League's played at now.
yeah, no, I think if Sevilla were playing in the Premier League, I think they'd be at the same kind of level that we are.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be at the Liverpool or Man City level, and maybe they wouldn't be at the Chelsea level. They'd be at the same level that we are. Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal. They're very much second tier type organisation. I think the difference they have, I think, is that they do have a stronger squad than we do. We basically have got 12, 13, 14 really good players, and then we struggle after that. and there's certain areas that where we have people who are more or less irreplaceable. But having said that, we played Liverpool without Rice, and you know, we really did give Liverpool a good game. We didn't take the game to
Yeah.
Liverpool, but we created plenty of opportunities. And I think if we'd got a draw in the Liverpool game, I don't think it would have been unwarranted. And I think even if we'd managed to sneak a win at the Liverpool game, I don't think they could have cried too much about it. They would have done.
Yeah,
They shouldn't have done.
absolutely. What did you make of Souček's role against Sevilla?
Um, well, I think he's definitely better when he's further forward, and he seems to be getting a little bit of his confidence back. His footwork seemed to be a bit more nimble today. I thought he created some opportunities for himself, and he was getting into the right areas. And to be honest, I think he's been doing that for the last 3 or 4 games. But quite often he just hasn't quite been at it. But I think today that shot in particular showed that he was at it, and I think when we're on the front foot at the London Stadium, I think the ball will be in the air a bit more, and they are going to find it very difficult
Yep.
against Souček, Antonio, Dawson, Rice, to say nothing of Zuma.
Do you fancy us?
Yes,
Yeah, me too. Me
I
too. I
do.
really do.
After today, I really do fancy us, and I think we'll also do better if the game goes to extra time. I think we'll come on, and I think we'll see. I think we'll see a more normal performance from Rice next week. It'll be interesting to see whether I'd be tempted to rest Rice on Sunday. I don't think
Oh,
it. I don't think he will, but I would. I mean, Moyes really hasn't been that tactical all season, apart from once we won the Europa League, he rested people.
sure, sure.
But virtually every other game, he's more or less picked our strongest possible side. But
Yeah.
I would be a little bit tactical against Villa, and we've now shown that we can play without Rice. So I also like this idea of Noble coming on very late on. I don't like that idea of Noble starting. I don't think he's got the legs now. But I think him coming on late on in the game, I think he can help to control it.
Yeah. Oh, all good, mate. All to play for. We're going.
We are, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. Me too. Can't wait. Can't wait. We're gonna get down here early as well, aren't we? I think we're gonna.
We might do.
We might do. We might. We
You
might.
might you might have a little drink.
I might have a little drink. I might have a little drink down the boats. Sail on into the stadium. We're in a slightly different seats because I was very bad. Did you know that? Do we know we're in different seats? We're sitting elsewhere. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, sort of behind the goal at the other end. I mucked up the tickets, but at least we've got some tickets.
Well, to be honest, that's where I sit when I don't go with you. I sit more or less diagonally opposite where you are. So I'll be on home territory.
You will, and hopefully we'll see the back of the net ripple. Well, from West Ham's perspective, anyway. Right, listen, mate. Thank you for that. I know there's been a couple of requests asking where you've been and asking for your opinion. Some people, for some reason, think you say wise sage stuff, but
Just before we go, I'd like
mm,
to comment on the passing of Frank O'Farrell, who was the longest living hammer until a couple of days ago. He's actually partly responsible for you and I supporting West Ham because my old man was from Cork, like Frank O'Farrell and Noel Cantwell, who followed Frank O'Farrell over into the West Ham side in the 50s. My old man used to go and watch all of the London clubs, but once Frank O'Farrell came over and he was a proud Corkman, that was it. My old man definitely followed West Ham from that day onwards. So, by all accounts, he was a very special guy, a lovely man, and commiserations to his family. But he had a long and good life, I'm very sure.
he certainly did. Well said. Well said. And certainly it was a name that I heard a few times as a child, being hoiked down to the Irish club in Ilford.
Hoiked.
Whatever. Had some good times. We had some good times, that's for sure. Anyway, there you go. We're well, we'll be back. We'll be obviously doing some videos. Don't know who's going to be steering the ship. Charlie's got a large job on his hands next week, that's for sure, on Thursday, because Gio's going to the game as well. We'll try and upload as many videos as possible. We will truly test whether the London Stadium has state-of-the-art 5G signal. We'll find out. If you get videos, it has state-of-the-art 5G signal. If you don't get any videos, it's crap. Right. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.